Why he was hunted for years and not seen. Andrei Chikatilo was born in 1936 in a Ukrainian village. His childhood passed in conditions of famine, violence, and constant fear. This was not a romanticized beginning of evil. This was a constant degradation of the psyche, cold, humiliation, and a complete absence of basic safety. He grew up weak and withdrawn. He had problems with speech and socialization. He was not taken seriously, and this became the key. In the Soviet system, the dangerous ones were considered to be the strong, the aggressive, the antisocial. Andrei Chikatilo was different, quiet, clumsy, socially invisible. Such people were not feared. They were not imagined to be capable of systemic violence. This became his first armor. Chikatilo worked as a teacher, an engineer, a clerk. He had a family. He looked pitiful, not threatening. The investigation, for years, looked for a repeat offender, a criminal authority, a person with obvious aggression, and he was no one. In the USSR, there existed an ideological dogma. Serial killers in a socialist society do not exist. That is why cases were not unified. They were separated. Crimes were written off as domestic. The idea of a single perpetrator was considered undesirable. The system itself did not allow itself to see the pattern. The main reason why he could not be caught was systemic errors of the investigation. The first forensic examinations were inaccurate. The blood type was determined incorrectly. This automatically excluded Chikatilo from the list of suspects. Formally, he did not fit. Additionally, there was political pressure. The leadership demanded quick results, closed cases, and culprits. As a result, random people were detained, confessions were obtained under pressure, cases were closed, and the murders continued. Also at that time, psychological analysis was not used. Serial models were not understood. They did not know how to work with repeating patterns. Different regions did not exchange information. Chikatilo used this chaos. He was detained several times, but there were no direct evidence. He behaved nervously, but not aggressively. He looked weak and confused. It did not fit in the investigators' minds that such a person was capable of mass crimes. This was a cognitive error. This person does not look like a monster. Therefore, he is not a monster. The most frightening thing was something else. He stood next to the investigators. He gave testimony. He spoke the right words, and he was not seen. He was caught not because of the genius of the system. He was caught because of chance, the accumulation of evidence, and a change of approaches. When they began to analyze behavior, to unite cases, and to listen to psychologists, his invisibility disappeared. During interrogations, he quickly broke. Without the mask, he turned out not a genius, but an empty, broken person. Chikatilo is not a monster from movies. He is a failure of the system. They could not catch him because they did not want to see the truth. They believed in ideology, not in facts. They judged by appearance. They were afraid to acknowledge the scale of the problem. That is why this story still frightens.